20%.
Holy shit, sorry. Fucking pop-ups. God damn it. My
Let me
apologies.
stick it enough airtime. He'll let you guys do the rest.
Noob advertising schemes.
Okay. So plant growth. Raising their potential productivity over the course of the next year to 1/3 above normal level. Yeah, you can't continue to cast in the same areas. So once you've got it, it's good. So that you can spread out.
Yeah, but it's all going to be frozen anyways, right?
Yep.
Oh, right. So Lemmy's doing that for the first day, and then for the other days he's doing the regeneration, remove disease, remove all that stuff, right?
Yep. Okay, so concentrating on those areas, like you just haven't been to the other places. That's why I'm getting kind of like
Yeah, I know,
you can't just
I know.
go to every civilization because you don't know where all the civilization is.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. That's cool. You focus those three. That's
All right, so Donovan wants to go speak to the king.
I want to secure access to the ring. It can be role played, or I can just roll diplomacy.
Well, give me a diplomacy check to see how successful you are in getting to go see the king. You do have to navigate a little bit of bureaucracy.
Okay. I just show up in the king's bathtub.
I think he's got this.
Hey, bathtub. I'll try this without using mythic, and we'll see how this goes. 44.
Okay.
Donovan could show up naked, smeared in excrement, and they still let him in.
So Donovan, you find yourself actually. So is it in the morning of the second day because you helped out Lemmy all day yesterday? What time of day are you arriving?
A noble time of day. When is like? Do they do a tea in this region?
You highly doubt that these blonde hair barbarian folk know what tea is.
Do they? When is the afternoon meal?
You spend some time figuring this out, and they say
well,
that.
I'm bard. I'm just gonna use a bardic knowledge, right?
Well, you could ask around when does the king eat?
I will do it. I will spend the morning doing a gather information check.
All right. So he's an older man. He tends to like eating earlier in the evening, like late afternoon.
All right. So 3:30 is what I'm showing up.
All right, and you manage to speak your way through a bunch of guards and basically tell them who you are, and you soon find yourself alone in a dining hall. The king is sitting there. Cutting some what looks like really tough roast beef. He's got an ermine trim cloak on. There's a whistle of the wind, the spring wind, kind of coming through one of the windows, through the shuttered windows. It's rather cool in this hall. The fires have gone down low. You realize that he might not have gotten dressed today. He just has this big ermine cloak kind of thrown over his own shoulders.
That's all right.
And like a sleeping gown underneath. His crown is not on. It is on the table though. And he's muttering to himself when you're let into the room. The guard gave you a look like "good luck" when you walked in.
All right. Perception check to understand his mutterings.
Sure.
Anything that communicates via sound. so
you have you have to hear such sounds. So give me a perception check to see if you hear him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you make up your own language, I still know what it is. 29.
He's having a battle, a mock battle between the vegetables on his plate. Well, I'll flank you there. Oh, you gotta watch out for the archers. They can throw their peas.
There's a very good bluff check on it. He's not smiling at the pea warfare.
Yeah.
Even the High King doesn't want to eat his vegetables.
This is a guy we got to give an artifact to.
I love Mark's
broccoli.
critiques.
Who wants broccoli? Yeah, we're gonna give him the artifact. Of course, he'll be fine. Why are you such a saint?
More wine, he says. As you're standing there, he might think you're a servant.
Is there a bottle of wine?
Yeah, there's a table, kind of a small table pushed off to the end of the table, and there's a silver decanter that might have wine in it.
Okay, I'm gonna cast telekinesis, and I will pour wine.
Okay. He watches the thing float over, and he holds out his cup, not too sure, slightly amazed.
Is there another cup?
An interesting trick. You must be new in my staff.
I am Donovan Dullahan of Mythloros, High King Osmond of Osgard. I have recently joined the Heroes of Aegis on their
Excellent.
quest.
The Heroes of Aegis serve a king, and that king is firmly in my pocket, which makes you mine, Donovan Dullahan of Mythloros. While Morfar is busy constructing my crown, our king has need of a wizard, he says, is he looking at the floating at the floating decanter. Excellent. We've got much to do.
What is it that you need done, King?
Typically, Morfar lets me view my enemies, and they've grown many as of late.
I must speak with Morfar to see how he achieves his scries. I suppose he has components of your enemies to use as focus, hair, fingernails, items that were important to them.
Yes. Yes. Morfar has these things. But you will make do without them. Unless you're Morfar's apprentice, then I suppose everything in his libraries and laboratories and cruel little sanctums belong to you, or at your disposal. I wish to see how King Trud progresses in his war.
All right.
There is a mirror in the next room. Once I finish my battle with this plate, I'll meet you there.
He's public with what he's doing. Good. That's a bad sign. He doesn't know it's silly to have battles amongst.
Okay, the next room is the throne room. There's a very simple kind of wooden chair that is larger than all the other chairs within that you've seen so far in the his palace. It's kind of like this big arced piece of wood that could actually belong to a boat. Several of them, and a nice seat behind it with wolf and bear pelts on it.
Okay.
A large creature could probably sit in the chair comfortably. It's more than enough space for a man. The chair seems to have been moved towards a window, but then dragged inside. You get the sense that sometimes the servants must move it outside onto the balcony. There's a large fireplace. The embers have grown low, and you notice that stacked up in the corner, there are a bunch of paintings of crowns that look like this was some project ago, maybe the ideation phase of this area. But there's a bunch of paints and easels and brushes and stacked paintings of crowns that have just been pushed off to the side.
Well,
a few actual crowns, kind of in a box beside them, like they were looking at the styles of different crowns.
are any of them particularly? Is anything magical?
Okay,
like
you cast detect magic. One of the paints is there's a small pot of paint, and we'll say it's kind of like swirls of multicolored paint all mixed together, but they're not mixing into a brown like what happens when you mix all the paints. They're just sort of like a rainbow swirl of paint.
It's Insta-Paint. It's whatever paint you needed when you stroke. Okay.
None of the crowns are magical. However, there is this big bronze, this highly polished bronze sheet in a frame. It has a blanket over it, but you can see underneath it that might be the scrying sensor that he was talking about.
Okay.
Mirrors, old school mirrors were just basically highly polished.
They're just
shiny
polished
metal,
pieces of bronze.
Yeah, or silver or whatever.
Yep. I'm going to take while he's eating, I'm going to send a sending to Morfar.
Okay. How long does your sending take?
10 minutes.
Okay, so while you're casting that, you actually hear him slam his fist into his plate or onto the table. Blast it! They lost again! Like food going all over the place.
This king has style. As a temporary sort of...
This king's got a trophy. That's all I know. He's got a trophy.
Blasted!
Okay. Morfar, I am in the throne room. I will scry for the king. Need Trud's component. I assume you are too busy for this. Drop it off. Or it'll be like drop it off or send someone.
Okay. You feel the presence there, like your spell is working. You actually don't hear a response, and then slowly your spell recedes.
I'll give him a couple
I swear
minutes.
I had it. I swear I had it!
I'm going to cast Arcane Sight. When I hear the king standing up, I'm going to cast Arcane Sight because I like to look at him without having to make it look like I'm looking at him.
Okay.
But, yeah. I'll take the... I'll let them open up the mirror so that it can be seen. And
He does wander eventually into the room. He looks at his chair and looks at where he wants it to be and then looks at you.
Okay. I will cast telekinesis and move the chair to where he wants it.
Okay, the chair is like 300 pounds.
Yeah, I'm not moving it without telekinesis, so...
He seems pleased at this. He seems pleased with his new servant. Morfar apparently has done well. Yeah, he actually mutters under his breath that Morfar has done well for once.
Okay. What spells are running on the king? What auras?
The king has...
auras?
I will do my internet searching on a different frickin'... Holy crap.
The world now knows! Do you not know that he had glibness up the whole time? He's really not insane at all?
He's got a strong abjuration up.
Is it an abjuration strong enough that this spell doesn't get anything as divination sub-school? Just a...
Yeah, it's just a strong abjuration that...
Okay.
And that's all it's going off of him. I don't know, it's like, can you detect the thing that's protecting you from the thing that's detecting? Give me a spellcraft.
Right.
I think maybe you get nothing.
I think I get nothing. That's what I think. I think what you're describing a spell that starts with an M, and I'm pretty certain I get nothing.
It ends with Ank.
It starts with an M and ends with Ank. Yeah, it's the Ankest of spells. 27.
Yeah, you're not sure. Do they even guard this king? He doesn't have anything magical on him, although some of his things look impressive. He's got an amulet
Just
on.
praying someone teleports in and puts arrows in.
He does have an amulet on, and he's got mithril bracers that might be magical, but your magical sensor's kind of washing off of him.
Yep. No, I deal with really powerful elf kings that are turning into trees.
Mithloros. Why do I recognize this name?
The wizard Oberon was from there.
Mithloros, does it have a king?
There are many tribes of Mithloros, and some of these tribes have kings.
You're scaling, are you not? No, they had a different name for their kings. What was it?
Elf?
A different name for their king.
Apologies. I'm trying to- the old guy was Seneschal, right? Was that, no?
Cornel.
No. Colonel.
Yes. Yes. Confused I was when I was younger when I first heard the name of what they call their kings. But I suppose all of them cannot speak a civilized tongue, eh, Skraeling?
Gonna take that, Elf?
There is not a tongue known that I do not understand.
Interesting. How would I put that to good use?
Now, so how long has it been since the sending?
Oh, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Okay. Well, because I basically, he kind of just told me to go rooting through his stuff, so that's what's coming up next. Next time on Wizards Invading Private Spaces. Respond to the page, or I show up in your bathtub. Okay.
Eventually, a servant does come, and there is a small jar with a single hair in it. This is for Donovan? He looks to the king. King just waves his hand. He seems to be in thought. Morfar sent this to me. To you, I mean.
Thank you. What is your name? He's a chatty guy. His name could be like
Snorri, sir.
Well, thank you, Snorri.
I'm one of the young apprentices.
What circle have you mastered?
He looks frightened when you ask. First. I'm trying really hard for second. Perhaps delivering stupid things like this will give you enough XP so I can get to third level.
Mastering 5. Don't worry. Being in my presence is a CR 9 encounter.
My aura of XP.
My aura of
How
XP.
meta can we get? Poor Snorri.
Yes. More to the king. Amongst my people.
Morfar lets me write the chronicles sometimes.
Thank you, Snorri.
The king eyes Snorri like he doesn't like Snorri, or he's suspicious of him, which only causes Snorri's nervousness to increase.
Amongst the people of Mythaloros, it traditionally an apprentice would have mastered the third circle or so before being chosen. After Snorri has left, not in front of Snorri, but about Snorri. As soon as Snorri, like when he's leaving, one of those little comments behind.
You hear Snorri saying, "I hope they don't feed me to the dragons."
Sense motive?
Yep.
$52?
Yeah, the boy was terrified of being fed to the dragons.
How many dragons do you have here?
What do you mean? And what makes you think you can ask questions of a king? Show me this King Trud, this upstart, whom I know is coveting my crown.
Okay. I will use the hair to cast a scrying spell, which I do have scrying on my sorcerer list.
Okay.
I am going to meta magic the tits off of it. It will be a scrying is 5th.
Let's see if I can find a King Trud miniature.
Where's my scrying is 4th. So I'm casting it as a 6th. It is a heightened stilled scry.
Okay, what's the DC?
The DC for me would be 16, 17, 27.
Well, that sucks when you roll a 2.
And then plus, I don't know Trud from the hole in the ground, and then minus, I have a hair. So it's like a -5, so it'd be like 32.
Okay. Yeah, typically barbarian warrior types don't have good
As long as they're not raging. That's as soon as.
Yep.
if he's
there's an image
right
that comes into place, and Trud is not alone. Trud is sitting on a seat that's kind of ostentatiously adorned. It is a barbarian seat made out of wood, but it does have this really large blue gem in it. His second kingdom, I see, says King Ogman as he's walking behind you. He's covered in blood. He's got a great sword lying across his lap, and he's leaning back, but he's got one arm up, leaning off to the side. And you can hear voices, I guess, through this.
Mm-hmm.
The gods have shined upon you again, King Trot. This kingdom you have taken not only by strength, not only by your caginess as a hero, but through your superior strategy as a general of men and beasts alike. What is she doing there, says the king. It is the Grim Oracle.
That is the Oracle. I've not met her yet.
I shall make sure that the people understand of King Zverk Left-Hand's crimes. Crimes against the gods and his own people, hoarding food at the onset of Fimbulwinter, taking things that do not belong to him but belong to his subjects. Do not worry, King Trud. You will not be seen as the aggressor here, but as a savior of the people of this kingdom. Good. But those are lies. You can see that there are two guards actually dragging a man who might have looked nicely dressed, but he's covered in blood and got a broken nose.
Oh, okay. When I say go, this goes from being a live scry to an illusion being created by my noodle. Just in case something turns into something that we don't. Although he doesn't really. I have the. I could convert this into an illusion.
King Ogman's looking. He's grinding his teeth while watching. Make it so. And make sure that the gods have my blessing when I remove this king's head from his shoulders. The gods do demand of us sometimes a sacrifice. The gods do demand blood.
Do I recognize this lady's holy symbol?
Nope. She's not wearing it. It's not visible.
Okay. What god does the oracle worship? No, like knowledge local.
Yep, go ahead.
I've got trying to eat a cob on the corn without picking it up. It's failing horribly. I'm making a mess all over myself. I've got 2 dogs just going, yeah, give me the kernels. 19.
She may worship the Pantheon.
Somebody in the Pantheon probably likes to sacrifice.
Since the regular tithings to the gods have been interrupted, their sacrifice shall be harsh this time around. Not simply the blood of warriors on the battlefield, not simply the blood of captives, but the blood of a nefarious king.
Knowledge local, King Svirk.
The king is protesting, but he's getting one of the guards is beating him on the back of the head with a mailed hand, and the other one's stuffing a cloth into his mouth. So he
33
can't speak.
knowledge, King Svirk. Is there anything? Do I care?
He 33.
Yeah.
There are rumors that he had to defeat some of his own family members to become king a while back.
Okay. I'm assuming they just mean a game of chess. It's just like
No. Defeat as in
yeah.
they died and made way for him to climb to the top. There was a bit of infighting amongst his family for the title.
Arm wrestling, of course.
Yep. Aside from that, Gosterland, I believe, is the name of the kingdom.
Okay.
Goskar is the name of the capital. It is a land known for hardy warriors. There are some mountain folk that make up their stock.
Okay.
Like how do you differentiate the barbarians, right?
Right, exactly. They're tall, or how long are their legs? What type of weapons do they use? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Basically, these kingdoms do share a common culture, but these ones have tales that you've heard of. That the Gosterlandans, while not as numerous, are very strong.
Okay.
Because of a mixture of like a mountain folk stock, perhaps.
Which region does Trud look like he's from? Because
Trud
he kind of looks like Svirk.
Trud looks something different. Trud stands a full foot taller than anyone else you've met from their race. Like he's a
Kind of like the other guy.
Yeah, he's like a 7 foot. He's like a 7 foot. A 7 foot guy. He actually claims that he has descended from. He's the only living descendant of the kingdom that started their culture, which was called again. Varnland.
Well,
I believe it was. Give me a second. It was called. I have one dot on the map that.
So Donovan is relaxing in the situation in terms of it looks like human politics and stuff that's not his to meddle in at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
One kind of jerk ass is killing another kind of jerk ass in a jerk assy way.
This will make him both king of Gosterland and Jormark. He says to you like you understand what that means. And the Oracle seems to have sided with him. Clearly they cannot blame me for what happened at Onsa Uppsala.
Perhaps you need to speak with the Oracle.
No. Next time I deal with her, I will be dressed in resplendent mail and wear the Linnorm horn crown. And then they will have to bow down again and beg for their lives and my forgiveness.
I can't use spells on this man, but I can use skill checks.
Yep.
What's the DC to recognize him as a fucking nut bar? I'm gonna sense motive him. I'm gonna add a mythic point to this. 66. Does he mean this in a malevolent way? Is he trying to just get power back, or is he kind of lost the plot? Because he should be focused on trying to stop Ragnarok, and he's currently focused on what looks to be like internal political bullshit.
He believes in what he's saying.
Okay. He's not lying.
And is genuinely wronged by what's going on. He feels that he's being wronged. You also sense that he's undergone some sort of tragedy as of late, and that may be making him act weird. There could also be, while you're not a healer, some issues going on.
See now.
Or maybe the peas just aren't listening.
Maybe the peas just won't fall back when ordered.
You see the shell, like you see a once great king and what he's become in his dotage.
High King Osmond, perhaps your resplendent mail and glorious crown can be used to unite the people against the coming Ragnarok. Unification of man, heroes under your banner.
He considers your words for a moment. If Ragnarok come, then none of us shall be saved. But yes, I shall be written down in the chronicles as the last high and great king. And if we are to die, then my people will know in the moments of their death that they served the greatest king of them all. Then he waves his hands to dismiss you. He looks like he needs a nap.
Okay. I'm going to tell the first person I meet that the king has given me permission to use the gate, and I'm going to go that way.
Okay, so the guard outside the room doesn't care what the
What doesn't care? No, not him. But like, I'm going to head over to where the song gate is.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check as you're trying to figure out where to go.
Yep. $34.
Yeah, you figure out that you're in the right place to talk to the people that manage the gate.
Okay.
And there's a really tubby guy behind inside this really well defended building. But eventually you get to a guy behind a very long counter, and he's currently counting things with a bunch of staff that are kind of doing all the counting and measuring. It looks like some sort of like early trading exchange or something. But you kept on getting pointed towards the Grain Master is what he's called.
Okay. Hello.
Oh, Skraeling.
How does one schedule a passage through the ring?
You either have passage or you don't.
Perfect. We have passage.
Who's we?
The Heroes of Aegis.
Ah. Off hunting more Linnorms, I see.
Yes, sort of, the great big bloody mess of giant dragon and the sort of they. I suppose he's saying they. I suppose it's we. Effective, I suppose.
You could say that. You're all the talk of the city, and I'm sure even in the city of the gods. Odin be praised! Odin be praised!
Odin be praised.
The only
How
good
much-
Linnorm is a dead one.
How much? That's actually also quite true. How much grain are you able to get through the ring?
Some, not enough.
What worlds are you harvesting from?
Don't know. Don't really care. The only place where we really do trade is Bartertown. They got a whole city full of merchants that work it all out for us. They've been charging more, though. They know. It's too bad that we know the rules of Bartertown. If we go there with our axes and start making these deals right, we won't be able to trade there anymore. Pity. All them merchant folk probably need a good axe to the head.
And why are we not trying to go direct to the source?
He shrugs. He leans on his chair like,
Wrong pay grade, Donovan. Wrong pay grade.
Well, the guy in the pay grade is goddamn talking to his porridge.
"What do you mean?" says the guy in charge of trade through the gate. Oh no.
You're the master of grain, right?
Ah. The worlds where we know we have grain, don't worry, we've been sending our warriors there to fetch it. We've been going to those worlds for a long time to fetch other things. Praise be to the gods! Everyone yells, praise be to the gods, praise the...
Donovan's having a moment where it's like, oh, this is what humans are like. Huh.
So you see, we'll be able to feed our people. If this winter lasts all year.
And what of the other kingdoms? Do you have the distribution network in place to get the grain to and from the other cities? Rune Shard, the other 4 kingdoms of man?
You're asking a lot of questions for a Skraeling.
Yes.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Yes, I am. We're going to spend a mythic. 73.
Huh. You gave me some ideas. I like that. I like them Heroes of Aegis. You must be one of the new ones, huh?
Yes. Donovan Delahan. He does an elaborate bow.
You know Lemmy?
Yes. I helped put up his temporary shrine.
Yeah, my grandfather got healed at the shrine yesterday. Thanks, mister.
You're welcome.
Praise be to the castle.
And praise be to the Odin Shaman. Trying to keep everything in balance. Otherwise, the Oracle's going to come and murder Lemmy. I don't know if I'm still on the call, but eventually the Oracle's going to murder Lemmy. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna go get Dinkinger.
Nah. That's not the best hero. The best hero is Uker. He moved like a big mountain at the Championship of Strength. No. And they start arguing about who's their favorite out of the Heroes of Aegis that they know of.
Okay.
Even Altagar gets a mention. Somebody proposes that, or posits that Altagar didn't get to go into the Championship of Strength because he would have won hands down because he's a Jotun blood. And there's now an argument. All work has now stopped in this place as they're now arguing over who's the best hero, Aegis, or the strongest.
We're 13 and we're having a fight over which Ninja Turtle is the best.
They've stopped work. Like they seem to have been manipulating papers and shipments and that sort of thing, but all work has stopped.
Perfect.
There's a big circle of them around you. 73 diplomacy check. Everyone wants to hear what this new guy has to say.
Which one are you? I'm the guy that stands in the back. That's what I am. Doesn't like being punched in the face.
One old guy says, I know who you are. He's the one that sings to Heimdall. He's the ones that gonna blow the Galahorn.
Yes, that one. Yes, I am that one.
Okay, there's a collective gasp. Oh. When do you need to go through?
It will be shortly. Once we have slew the last Linnorm, we need to find a way to Gazrija.
He's on the gods' business.
Yes, we need to help Uka.
I told you Altagar's stronger than Uka. Nah, Uka doesn't need no help.
The only thing he interjects into that conversation is there's more than one form of strength. That's the only advice he has on that whole line of thought.
Okay. There's a couple of fist fights that start, and then the others police themselves, and they tell them to take it outside. The grain baron or whatever he's called at this point, I don't know how much you care. He apologizes for the rowdiness.
Okay.
He understands that Skraelings aren't used to this sort of fisticuffs. He has all sorts of assumptions about elves that are probably all wrong.
Well, actually, although in the place where I grew up, where everybody had to cure light wounds,
yeah,
the 14-year-olds or whatever probably went on each other with just logs, just beating each other's ass.
Right. Fire like blunted arrows at each other for training.
If I only stab him once.
Well, where did the business of the gods get you? Where do you need to go?
Well, we're trying to get to Gazrija, but we'll need to probably go through Bartertown to get there.
Bartertown, Gazrija.
We're also looking for a song to the Empire of Man.
The big guy turns to a bunch of old guys that are kind of like watching this from the doorway to another building, and a couple of them are from another room in this building, and they go back in, and you get the sense that there may be books and scrolls back there.
In a few guys.
Cool. One of them comes out and says, he whispers to the grain guy, no Gazrija, but there may be an indirect route. Bartertown, they know a lot of the songs that we don't. There's a bounty for new songs. He points to the board, and there's some scribbles that you don't understand.
Damn it. Could you read it out to me? My eyes aren't so good.
No, it's going rate is 1,000 gold coins for a verifiable and valuable world that you know the songs for.
How would one use the gate and not have others listen in?
Bartertown's busy. It's difficult for people not to hear. But there might be a world we could send you to where there ain't nobody around.
That would be useful.
Yeah,
There are places that we do not want to lead back to here.
precisely. Is that where it's gonna take you? Bartertown, they probably know, and they do trade with Gazaria.
Mm-hmm.
Gezar was an old hero that came here once, you know.
I saw his statue over in Runeshod.
Yeah, they say he was a friend of the White Wizards.
Does anyone else call him Tahagadabugan or only Uka?
Who?
Only Uka.
Bless you! Hands you a handkerchief.
Oh. Yes, the brisk air
Well,
on my scaling lungs.
you do need to have a token. There's an amulet that the king only hands out to those that are allowed to go to the other worlds on his behalf.
Good. Have I seen anybody with a token?
No, you doesn't seem like a common thing. Like they may only open the gate once a day.
Oh, this is day 2. Day 3 is going to be figure out what tokens look like by waiting by the gate.
Did you come here and say that the king gave us permission, or you just told the guard outside that?
Well, I was like, it's one of those, like, that's basically this. I'm eventually going to tell people I have permission, but this guy says, oh, you need this token? It's easy for me to put on a disguise with a token on it.
So which day would you be heading to Bartertown?
We have to kill the Cairn Linnorm first. Say...
He closes the book. Well, I guess that'll be never.
Cairn Linnorm? That's the one that's missing. Only one more horn needed for the crown. Who's gonna kill it? Who killed the last one? No, wait, don't tell us. And now they're betting. There's a furious round of betting.
Okay. You'll wait.
Okay. Yeah, they wipe off one of the slate boards and start doing some betting.
Okay. I'll give them like a
Who
half
dared
hour
the
to figure
killing
out.
blow? Yeah, and I guess you tell them for the past Linnorms.
Yep.
Yep. The one that they missed was the Tor Linnorm, which ends up eating up another 20 minutes of betting because they had to add it to the list.
It was like Uker, Midwick, and I don't know who did the other one. It was Uker got 2, and it was like one of them was by accident. I was like, oh no, I didn't want to. No, who did? I don't remember. Who, and it was who did the drowning one? The drowning curse that Altagar ended up getting.
I think Altagar.
He absorbed it, or did he? I think
I
Altagar
absorbed it. No, so Midwick did it.
Yeah.
Midwick did it. So it was Midwick, Uker, Midwick, Uker, I think is how it went. Or Midwick, Uker, Altagar, Uker. No, Altagar didn't get that. It was Midwick, Uker, Uker, Uker. That's what it went. Because I went through and I kept doing extra action, I kill it. Yeah. So, no, assume within the week. Definitely won't be tomorrow or the day after.
And well, you need your own conveyance to Bartertown. Bartertown is actually on the water.
I believe we have a boat. There's the dragon-headed ship somewhere.
Which one? Well, it can't be the one that King Trud has. That's in Gostaland with him.
The blue one?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was blue. Haven't seen it. Apparently Lemmy's the captain. Okay.
That one, he looks. Azurilo has already gone through the gate.
Ah, where did it head?
Well, apparently there were some warriors on the boat, and they were tasked with bringing back the king's son. I think they went through Bartertown. But if they use the gate, who knows where they might be.
Who was leading this voyage?
You want to go to the kingdom of Gazaria. Gezer's people, by our records, are kind of the same looking people as the people from this Gazarija.
Yes.
Gazaria, something about Targonians overrunning the place. I don't know. We don't go there no more.
Knowledge blood.
Just a bunch of bald-headed monks just jabbering on and kind of ringing bells and stuff. It's kind of a sad place. They don't have the proper wheat either.
No wheat?
Nah, they got something called rice.
Interesting. Okay. Donovan is going to go to the next day is going to spend by the gate.
Okay.
And he's basically going to chill out around the gate, waiting for somebody to come through with something that looks like a token.
So you learn that when the gate opens, a balloon is let up, and then they look at the contents of the little thing that's tied to the balloon, and then the gate closes, and then they open it up again, and by the time they've opened it up the second time, they've raised the gate out of the water, and then a ship comes through.
Okay.
There are people that go out with boats and rafts. It might be sometimes you step out of the gate onto a raft if you're coming from a terrestrial landing.
Does it appear that you can go out of the gate and just into the water?
You could probably... They just lower the gate back down into the river. So you could probably go under the water, sing to the gate, and...
You can go sneak through the gate, no problem. Perfect.
But you do see some guy. There seems to be a merchant that comes through with several boats, and they're laden with what look like grain.
Does he have a
big
token?
sacks of it. Yeah, the one leader on it has a bejeweled...
Does it radiate magic?
So you get close enough, you detect magic.
Yeah, I walk right, I go right up onto the boat.
Yeah, okay. or onto the shore when they're unloading grain. Yeah. This one detects some minor enchantment. You may think like a amulet of protection or something.
Okay.
But it's got a particular look. It's like a Linnorm swallowing a gem.
Okay. And what's the guy's name?
His name is
Jorge.
Travold.
Okay.
He's one of the trusted merchants that is allowed to go to Bartertown.
Travold the Trusted.
That's a good name. And then Snorri the Apprentice. We'll add these to the... Yeah, if you could add them to the journal, that'd be good.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
Travold has a conversation with you.
Okay.
He actually asks you, do you have a problem? Because he notices you, casting magic and looking at you.
Oh, I no, it's, he's doing a performance and spells pop out, so you have
okay.
to... You need spellcraft check in the 40s to...
What was the performance?
He's singing the hard-working hero's home.
Okay, Travold he just joins others who listen to you singing, and he doesn't quite realize that he's the target of spells. He fumbles into his pocket. You notice that people are dropping coins at your feet.
Okay.
You make 14 silver coins.
Okay. Are there any homeless people here?
Yeah,
They make 14 silver coins.
got it. So on your way out, you give it to some of the refugees.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Well done. Wish every time we came home we were greeted like a scald such as you, says Travold the trustworthy. Or the trusted.
47 was the perform check, which is the perception check or spellcraft check to determine that I cast a spell. It is...
My 6th level expert does not see.
It doesn't. It does not see. It is good to have hardworking heroes feeding the people here. I am new. Donovan Delahan. Shake his hand.
We try. While I might not make it to the halls of Valhalla, I'm sure that my efforts will gain the attention of Freya. Perhaps I can go to her Folkvang when I pass.
The Skraelings know the value of level-headedness and food. You're keeping people fed. You're keeping the line supported.
He seems to learn something new.
There we go.
Back.
Okay, so you got an idea.
Will I use the racial slur for my people? Yeah, it's my word now. That's what I am. I'm a Skraeling. Okay, I got all the information I wanted. I know how to leave this place if I want to leave. I know how to. I take a moment to study a spot to teleport to.
Yeah, so you watch them lowering the thing into the water. It is a moving river, so you can't quite see the bottom of the river. But you can look at like a spot on shore if you want to teleport.
A spot on shore that's got a little bit of like that is like an alley or
Yep, you're at the base of the Bubark Arch. There are some buildings there, but most of the other buildings are across the water in towards the city.
Yeah, so it'll be by the Bubark Arch.
Okay, so basically where they have their boats, and then the stairs that cut up through the rock to get to the top of the arch.
Yeah.
For those that want to see what this thing is or want to reminded what this thing looks like, Volsung Saga, the Bubark Arch. So they basically lower the gate through chains that go all the way up into the city and lower them down kind of around into the river. And I guess they think it's a measure of security by lowering the gate all the way into the river. People that come through might possibly drown. Hence the balloon that is sent through first. Like a bladder full of air with like a note on it. It seems to be their way of managing traffic in and out. So you around the base of the Bubark Arch is where some of the boats do land, and you have a look. Basically, you visit it once, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a spot.
Yep. So mark down if you keep track of your teleportation areas, like the Bubark Arch, base of the Bubark Arch, might be a good place to go. So you then sync back up with Lemmy and teleport back to Dvergholm. What is going on? Here we go. Popped out. Do I have the party somewhere? I do. I'm going to switch maps back to the dragons. I think the next thing you guys are doing is Cairn Linnorm. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
It would be the plan. And then spend a whack ton of cash. Spend the cash.
Let's go back to conversation. There's the party. So it appears that Uker is able to stave off his curse for this month.
Maybe he's better and doesn't have to go in the hole.
Yeah, maybe he's cured. As you guys gather that early in the morning, I guess it would be the 17th. Lokrik actually has a bundle of things that he goes over and delivers to Azildan.
Okay.
This quiver and arrows came off of Turnia.
Wonder how she died.
Given that her soul was taken away by one of the Nethergeists, we do not think she is coming back.
He takes it.
Okay. I'm going to paste a huge stack of arrows and another efficient quiver onto your sheet.
He's not holding on to it. He's putting it with his trophies.
Okay, I'll just paste it right at the bottom.
Yep.
Oh, because you're the one that killed Turnia?
Because he killed her.
All right. Well, have a look at what's there. Perhaps Kagnaza doesn't require all of it. Lokrik did this quietly, almost like he didn't want everyone to see him giving the.
Well, he's got Lokrik there.
Yep.
Lokrik, I got a question for you.
Hmm.
How these all these warmongers become jarls?
You mean the Volslanders?
Yeah, the humans.
Some of them through blood, some of them through deed, as I understand.
Bit of hypocrisy, I would say.
High King Osmond comes from a long line of heroes that through deed earned their crown. And over the years, his family has done well for themselves, and had other kings pay fealty one by one through victories and such. There's nothing saying that High King Osmond has to be the High King, aside from the fealty that my family and I have paid to him. As for the others, some respect hereditary title over others, or more than others. Sometimes, however, lines do change. This is, in the grand scheme of things, no different than many of what has happened with many of the dwarvish kings, although much less frequent in changing.
Oh. All right.
Why do you ask?
Curiosity more than anything else. He beats my bluff check.
Do I need to ask again?
Oh, you can try, but you're not going to get your answer. So we'll just settle with curiosity. Damn, you're plugging.
All right. Fine. I have enough to manage here. The onset of Fimbulwinter, Dvergholm, and one human land. He doesn't finish his thought because he thinks he knows what you're hinting at.
Oh no, not for you. Yeah, you got enough. Besides, wouldn't really want to be king of these savages, right?
Some of their ways I do not agree with. But then again, I have toured through the lands around Runeshard. Others have concern of family and home and appeasing the gods. Without all the details, they aren't much different from my people.
Well, agree to disagree there, I suppose. Uker almost done with his changing.
It appears he didn't change this month. Perhaps it is abating.
Didn't think those sort of things abated.
No. They don't. That sort of sickness is a curse, and curses don't simply vanish on their own. It is something, a demon that Uker will have to face. Or we will have to face the demon Uker.
There are skulls all over his fucking place now. Ogrekin skulls.
At Azildan's hut? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or his shack in the middle of the... Yeah.
Yeah, his shack. Let's not even call it a hut. It's a shack. It's branches up against a tree.
Yeah, Lokrik doesn't know about your shack.
Okay. He's moving soon anyway.
Who? Zildan?
Yep.
You've got new plans for
Make
Zildan's
himself
hideout?
Jarl unto Rupsala.
Of the temple?
Yep. The Temple City, that's him. That's where he lives now.
Wow. Uh-huh. All right. Lokrik's...
I mean, you brought him to the table. Let's be honest.
When do we leave?
I don't
Cairn
know.
Linnorm.
Yeah, you go and find the others who have gathered.
Ugh.
I look forward to hearing what you find in the Cave of Dead Things.
Probably
Probably a lot of
find the dead
bones.
thing.
Bones, I expect bones.
Lokrik leaves you to it. He pauses for a moment, like, do you need him for anything? And then he slowly moves away. To go do king things.
Go be a king over there, you bother me. The Cairn Linnorm has what type of breath? Negative energy
Death breath.
Dive, save or die breath?
Save or die breath. It's death breath. Enjoy.
Cairn Linnorm. I love how Adam spells Cairn.
Am I spelling it incorrectly?
It's no K.
Cairn.
It's like Cairn.
Yeah, isn't that how you spell it? Is it just Kararn?
No, you've been spelling it Karn.
I'm so what?
You did
The breath weapon.
previously.
Yep. I've corrected in a few places.
Yep.
Give me a knowledge arcana.
Knowledge Arcana. Right. 30, 45.
Nice.
Acid
Okay.
and negative energy.
There we go. So,
Okay, what kind of negative energy? Because there's different types of negative energy. Negative energy just makes you go, ow. There's negative energy that goes, oh, you had con. Too bad now.
No, negative energy is probably the base.
it's
Acid and
interesting.
negative energy.
Are you asking in detail of the other people in the room to describe what type of negative energy it is for any particular reason?
You also know that its curse is the curse of aging. We went through this before. The curse of decay,
Yeah.
but it's like an aging curse. You age a year per day.
This is a Zildan's happy. This is a Zildan's Linnorm. Negative energy, and you're going to make me old. Good for you.
The
Or
poison
can you take-
the poison carries acid and might be really harmful to your health.
Immune!
This dragon is also like has a standard Linnorm powers, like you can't trick it with invisibility and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
Give me a knowledge local.
Okay. I'll use my other one, so 33.
Oh, you're just taking 20 as a bard,
Yeah.
basically? Okay.
Yeah.
Linnorm hunting. This thing's name is Klosterfog, the Devourer of Corpses, the Guardian of Hell's Root.
Yes. This is. I remember
Cluster
him
what?
being called Clusterfog because.
Cluster what?
I mean, cluster what? What kind of this adventures cluster what?
You remember that they prefer undead flesh to eat?
Uh-oh.
Yep.
And
Zildan's having a bath before we go.
And Klosterfog, Guardian of Hell's Root, might mean that Yggdrasil goes so deep into the plains that it ends up in Hades, where Hell's realm is, and then kind of wiggles its way back into the Prime.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long day.
It's fine. Relax.
Lemio, like already told you guys, that his spell, How Do I Get to Yggdrasil, sent
Goes there.
him. Yeah, it's basically that spell sends him into the cave.
Perfect. So, acid, some form of aging thing. I suppose it's very effective against humans. A negative energy breath. You cannot sneak up on it.
Is the group back together again? Like,
Yep.
are we all together?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
we're
there is
conversing.
something else. There is a large concentration of undead in the area. And there are hundreds of zombies that I found. There are traces of. So they're coming from somewhere. Something's creating them.
Did I worry about a bunch of zombies?
I'm not
So
worried
they-
about the zombies. I'm not
I
worried about.
had my arms cut off.
I'm not worried about the zombies. I'm worried about what's making them. Making undead zombies. It's not an easy task. It's probably a creature doing that, right? Look at the forest. How did that forest become like that? Something's doing that. That's what I'm worried about.
I
And
wouldn't.
how many of them are there?
I most definitely wouldn't underestimate Klosterfog. There's a story about him having learned the secrets of hell. Hell with one L, not two. He might be potentially a caster even.
Wait, what? He might be a caster?
Well, so it's
Like-
said that
like a real dragon?
he's learned hell's secrets, and how that manifests is interesting. How would you tell that a Norm has learned something? So there is potential. As I was saying before, he should not be underestimated.
Right, but I think we should do the same plan. Find it,
Yeah,
kill
so
it.
far running in and beating its head in usually seems to work.
There's a reason why multiple powerful beings have warned us of this.
Right. Adam, you're gonna have to look at my spells for this. I think I can add Death Ward on everybody.
Okay.
I believe Lemmy already has it, and Midwick can drink a potion for it.
Yeah, Midwick has a potion. Uker has a potion of Death Ward. Uker can Death Ward 4 people without
Okay.
it. taking up too
Zildan's
much.
gonna hold off on getting death warded.
Is he going to say why? Because
Oh, negative energy heals me. That's why.
so
He doesn't hide it. It's very blue.
That's neat. Huh.
Uh,
Damn, boy, you got some tricks on you.
yeah, for the spells, it's I would still like to.
Oh, keep one handy. just
Hey,
in case.
yes, Morfod. He was busy when I went to talk to him. But Donovan's arguing with himself, which might be Foxfire interjecting important information into this.
Foxfire's
hang on,
helped out many
folks.
times.
Yes, he is.
I can't see.
Foxfire should start getting XP.
Someone... Does Morfar know where this location is? He's been here before, yes? Not all at once?
In Vertical, you mean?
Yes.
In Vertical, yeah, he's been here.
Okay.
When we were fighting the vampires, he was here.
Okay.
You know, when you killed me.
I wasn't...
Get over it.
I never killed
Get
you,
over it.
Asleton.
That
No,
was
no,
a
no.
get over
I
it.
killed them.
Yeah,
2 times.
you did. Twice, yeah, you killed me twice. Well,
Come to
technically,
think
you
of
only
it,
killed me
actually-
once.
Actually, you killed me once.
I did not kill you.
You were firing through the fog and you nailed me thrice in the chest and 2 in the throat.
You listen to me. Them could have been unholy arrows and they wasn't. You owe me a thank you. And they actually really could have been.
Yeah, fair point.
So we probably... Gentlemen, does anybody remember Morfar asking to be part of this conversation?
No, of course. I was probably not around, so.
You're sitting in a shack being creepy guy in woods.
What
Here-
skulls to collect?
Here's the other thing that's concerning, is what
Donovan
if we
starts casting sending.
If we take out that Linnorm, what is going to come out of hell?
It's called hell, probably bad thing.
Right. So is it? the
I
right
thought
thing to
hell
do?
was a person.
Mark, I just sent you a note.
Yeah.
No, but you see what I'm saying is we're not going to go in and fight through hell. If we need to get through Yig, I know of a way to get through Yig, and that's through Nalbert. We don't need to go and take this Linnorm because I'm afraid of what's coming out of it.
Well, we need to... Same reason for all the other Linnorms. Also,
Right, but-
we know this
no.
Linnorm will not protect that passage after the Linnorm's king guy goes crazy.
Right, but until then, what's the plan? We know that he's eating the undead in the area, so he's cleansing the area of the undead from whatever's creating them. If we take him out, that means those undead will remain in the area and get larger in number. And the second thing, other things will start coming in through hell. So that dragon's actually that
Donovan's
Linnorm is serving.
casting.
Yeah, yeah. That Linnorm is serving two
I thought
purposes.
you said undead go to cave.
Right. For some reason, he calls them or summons them, or I'm not sure.
Maybe
I don't
that's
know.
how they get to build Hell's army.
No, he eats them. He feasts on their flesh.
Okay, and
Yes.
they...
Having an army of zombies is really not much of an army. But do you see what I'm saying? Yes, we should take him out, but I don't think destroying him now is convenient. It's more of a hassle because who knows what will come out while we're not here, or we're not paying attention. I'm not going to sit in front of the cave and make sure nothing comes out, or we just destroy it. We block it off for sure. Perhaps make it holy ground. That we can do. Make it holy ground and let me just throw in crap out right now.
We could try talking to Hell. Donovan's sending goes off. 10 minutes went by. Morfar, we're talking about killing the...
So are you going to Morfar, or are you getting Morfar to come to you?
We're getting Morfar to
No,
go past.
come over here.
Okay, give me a diplomacy check as you're asking the wizard in the middle of his constructing
busy.
his Magnus Opus
Yep,
to
make
come
them
see you.
opus. Yep. Right. So... 50?
Okay,
This is why Uker didn't just chug ascending and say, "Get over here, bitch!"
a very tired-looking Morfar, who seemed to have dragged along his apprentice Snorri.
Something bad must have happened if that's his apprentice, right? Like, that's his traveling apprentice. A familiar is more combat effective.
Snorri's got this massive book that he's kind of hiding behind, but he's trying to say hello to Donovan, but he's almost dropping the book in doing so. We'll have to come up with a miniature for Snorri later.
I'll start looking now.
Twice? Morfar, the Cairn Linnorm, Hell, Portal, or Gate, any advice?
Is this where you're going next?
It's to the next possible Linnorm, yes.
Sense motive.
On what?
On Morfar with this creepy. Yes, I will inform them of your arrival.
Sure, you think he's doing up to something nefarious? Sure, go ahead and give me a sense motive.
Donovan's a little 53. Just
I'm trying to connect.
Yeah. With Donovan finds it interesting that that's his first question. Of all the possible questions, his first one is, "That's what you're going to be tomorrow." At 3:52.
Because the king wants to watch.
I apparently
Because the
can't
king
remember
wants
my-
to watch.
Yeah,
The king said he
apparently.
wanted to watch. That would perfectly explain.
There we go. I now have the DM mode. Okay.
Right.
Slaying this last one will not be easy. But then again, I said that of the Cairn Linnorm, and you did just fine, didn't you?
There's some concerns that I've got. If you can answer them, that'll be fantastic.
Yes.
The two things are the two concerns I have is what in that area is creating the undead that he's eating on, and two, if we get rid of him now, will that open up the pathway from hell to here?
It is foretold that hell will belch forth her armies, that just as the Odin summon, the Aesir and the Vanir have been collecting warriors, drinking in their halls and fighting, so too has hell collected innumerable souls of those stuck in the purgatory of Hades, and those who have been tortured for being very bad people. Do
Right,
not
that's-
think that you can stop the gods from sending forth their armies on the day of battle. Besides, it is not a simple portal that is there. It is your own Yggdrasil that crept into the world.
Correct.
I do not think your god would be very happy with you if you tried to cut that route.
I'm not trying it. All I'm thinking of is that Linnorm is a gatekeeper for whatever's on the inside of hell, between our hell and this world. We get rid of
Gatekeeper
it.
who works for bad guy gatekeeper.
Yes,
Still,
this Linnorm does eat any undead that come into the cave from this world. I believe many of Vargan's servants have been slowly migrating there, as if they sense the place that they should actually be. But know that the Cairn Linnorm has also feasted upon the dead that seek to escape Hell's Hades.
Does the Zildjian remember being drawn to that place at all?
Not really. You had a lot of very strong wills imposed upon you.
Okay.
You knew about it. You knew that there was a great creature of like an undead eater that lived in the cave, but you didn't really put two and two together.
I think the undead eater would be very frustrated with the whole nature of vampires, and you try to eat them, and then they just turn to gas.
Turn into gas and flow out of their mouth. If you're lucky, out of your mouth.
Damn it!
in my belly.
So hungry.
So this really is kind of answering the question for me is, this is not the time to take out that Linnorm.
When
That's
the
not what he
host,
just said.
when the host of death comes, a single Linnorm will not keep back the tides of 1,000 dead things that seek the light of the living. Things that have been whipped into war frenzy. Things that, if they serve the gods of death properly, may be given a place of life in the new order of things.
Right. I don't want those things coming any earlier. I know the hordes were to come before that day.
I
the hordes
only
will
need
escape.
the Linnorm's horn. I do not need the carcass of such a disgusting creature that feasts upon death.
Are you sure?
Yes. 2 horns, just in case. The biggest upon its head.
Why don't we just bring whole head?
If you are concerned with leaving such a creature because it guards indirectly the land of the living, horns will do, Lemmy.
Yeah, don't think we should speed up the death of Vosgard.
Perhaps it will be grateful for your mercy. Who knows what other things you will find in that cave, being so close to
Lemmy.
death and
Yes,
to her
Donovan?
realm.
There's something you have not considered.
This is why we're having this discussion, please.
If we are under siege of Fimbulwinter, then we
Yes.
very well might want Ragnarok, the battles of Ragnarok, to become sooner when we still have strength, food in our bellies, when we're not concerned with every man, woman, and child dying from nature.
Morfar is grinning at that.
Azildan tries pitifully to hide a snort.
To hide his what? Sorry?
Sorry.
Or
You're breaking up, Mark. We didn't hear.
A snort of derision.
Oh, okay. Towards...
as if he's concerned about the people of Vosgard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Zilda doesn't like these people.
Life is life. We'll do it again to make sure it remains. I agree with you, but I don't think taking out the Linnorm will make it any faster.
No. We need to take out Linnorm. We can replace Linnorm with Big Rock. To Blockway. Or whatever.
Well, there is no arguing with that. It'll eat the flesh, so anything with flesh will have to go through that rock. Yes, correct. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I can spend a few days to make walls out of there.
See? Big Rock.
Only you can replace a giant flesh-eating dragon with a rock.
I'd actually,
Do
like
you
to
think a
continue-
large rock will stop gods?
No, but it will get their attention and make them use their energy. We are preparing for battle. If I make them have to run through Muddy River for 3 miles before battle, their legs will be tired.
Actually, no, if they're undead, they don't get tired.
They'll be late then.
Let me just mouse. I really could just make that.
Yeah.
I could really just make, a long path of that cave, holy land, holy ground.
There is nice thing about rock. Magic does not care about rock. Rock does not care about magic. Holy ground is magic. Magic makes magic go away. Big rock, still there.
Morpher looks bored.
Actually, we're done with this.
Marty, I don't think Yig would be pissed off with walls of stone, would it? Lummy doesn't think so.
Yig's a tree.
If you cast walls of stone in and around Yggdrasil,
Well, basically is to block off hell for a little while.
probably
Are
not.
pots for potted plants sacrilegious to the worshippers of Yig? I think that's the question.
No.
I'm surrounded by anuses. Okay, fellas.
Okay, so
I think once we're done with this Linnorm, we ought to have another discussion about what our end goal is regarding Ragnarok. Because I don't think we're all on the same page here.
Stop Ragnarok, save as many lives as possible.
Yeah, okay, we're not on the same page then. After the Linnorm. Survive the Linnorm, then we'll have a discussion.
what other page is there to be? There is two sides.
Well, no, there's not. There's just guiding Ragnarok in a way that's advantageous to us in surviving.
Right. Stop Ragnarok.
No, it's not stopping it. You can't stop it.
Well, no, you win
It's gonna
Ragnarok.
happen.
It's like a tournament. The tournament is Ragnarok.
Okay.
You want to come in number
Okay.
one.
See? Strangely, Uka and I are on the same page on this one. Yes, win Ragnarok. It's gonna happen. Let's win it.
Ragnarok is coming. I cannot stop gods. None of us can. We just want to survive it.
Alright. There we go. Same page now.
Morphar's
so
now.
No, we
painful.
don't want to survive it. We want to win it.
Morphar's no longer bored and grinning at all of you.
Alright, what the hell do you want to say?
He's just
Cheering
macking
with
his
your black
he's
teeth.
macking his old man lips and grinning at all of you, kind of grinning in the general direction as you guys are basically hatching a plan or a goal of winning Ragnarok.
Yeah, we're not stopping gods from fighting here. It's we want to win, win to fight. It's not like WWE is coming. Woo! And we want Odin, yeah, to like to pile drive.
It's a WWG. Gods come and collide. Odin off the mountain.
You have a long way to go yet.
And a limited amount of time to get there.
Very true. We need to get busy.
Where did your king send our boat?
On a fool's errand.
Did they have anybody in charge of that thing that would keep them alive, or do we write it off?
The strongest thing that went on that voyage was the boat itself.
Lemmy, you're going to want to contact your first mate.
How long ago did they take off?
2 months ago.
Alright, he starts doing ascending.
Oh, can we just focus on the Linnorm, for fuck's sakes?
Alright, so let me you do ascending.
Yeah.
I'm going for
Morpha.
lunch.
You mentioned that you had information for us related to this.
What have I not said that these things that you already knew?
That's a good question.
This also doesn't make sense, but he's an old man.
He's an old man. What have I said that were things that you already knew? You're right. You showed up and you said a bunch of stuff that we already knew. Good job.
That hero man.
Oh, give me a second. I have to blow my nose. I had a
You guys really
Marcel,
gotta focus.
habanero chips from Mexico, and they're melting my fucking face off. Who would have thought the hottest pepper on the planet that was natural is hot?
You guys want my opinion. You should focus. Like Bowman here says. You're thinking of too much shit. You wanna kill a dragon? Go kill it. You wanna go to your little tree thing? We'll do that after. Just focus. Let's do it. We're gonna go tomorrow.
What is Altagar adding to this?
Yeah, let's kill the dragon. Let's go.
Alright. First thing tomorrow then. Hey, little guy, you know where that cave is? You guys there?
All right, how are you?
Right.
How are you getting there?
Lemmy knows the way. So that night he will greater teleport with Donovan and Azzy,
Okay,
and then show them where it is.
got it. I've got an image of the outside of the cave now, so I will expose that as you guys are looking at the cave. Yeah, I gotta make it clear visible.
So he'll take him there and come back, and then the next day we'll power up and have people teleport. He'll take one group, somebody else take the other group.
How far into the cave? Actually,
So there's the Cave of Dead Things.
Yeah.
And it's pretty big.
Give me a second. Donovan is going to cast... I think I've got like a Prying Eyes spell. Did I take Prying Eyes?
It's like a 30 by 20 opening, and there's this big kind of petrified tree going around it, and a petrified forest of trees. Some ancient ruin that doesn't even look Voslandic.
Hold on, I'm getting twitched.
Crumbling around it. You can see that there are like tracks in the snow that are moving in.
Dominate, sending, teleport.
Is the dragon a creature of chaos?
They're all creatures of chaos. Gnomes, by their very nature, are beings of chaos. That, I suppose... How... Azulden, we haven't had that much time to talk. Are you familiar with your nature?
My nature?
Yes.
What? Being a half-elf?
No. Yes, they are chaotic beings.
Alright.
Most of the undead are evil by nature. It is highly unlikely that the Norm was able to overcome its nature.
Oh, I just see the cave now. I was able to log into Twitch. Nice. Very nice.
Right. Where is this? Do I have... I'm having a stupid here for a moment. Apologies.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Thank you. I've got a clairaudience, clairvoyance. What is the... Marty, do you remember what the lowest level...
Clairaudience, Clairvoyance is a scrying spell at a like near range, or like a closer range.
Right, I've got that one, but there's one that where you make a little eyeball.
Arcane Eye, or is it?
Yeah.
Prying Eyes.
It's Arcane Eye.
Prying Eyes, I think, is the next higher level one.
I have Arcane Eye. That's the one I wanted. Prying Eyes is the next higher level, but I do have Arcane Eye,
Okay.
and it's a 10-minute cast.
So you stand outside for 10 minutes and you're casting a spell? Okay, I'll put your tokens down on the map because you guys are lingering.
Marty, can you drop Lemmy and Midwix with... I think they have Death Ward. Can you confirm that? I think they both have it already.
They have it cast.
Yeah, like as part of that huge spell list that's cast on them. I think they both have it cast on them. Can you just verify?
Well, Midwick's not going to the cave this night. You're just showing. This is you guys showing.
Death Ward is on Lemmy's combat list.
Okay, good.
Yeah, basically Donovan has a see invisibility up, and now he's casting it. A
Arcane Eye.
Arcane Eye.
Is anyone else doing anything during the 10 minutes that you're casting Arcane Eye outside of the cave?
Azildin will scout the area.
Lemmy is
Like going inside or just around?
Just around. Like,
Okay.
see if there's.
Give me a survival
hidden
check,
places.
Azildin.
Survival. Oh,
Yep.
okay. Double check my survival score because I don't remember.
Do you survive?
You failed your survival check. You die. No, that's 21.
You do not survive.
I'm pretty sure Azildin's the tracker of the party.
Yeah,
He's
so
the wisdom-based class.
Lemmy's a better tracker than.
Lemmy's got a pretty high one. I've got a bunch of.
Lemmy's a
others
better
as well.
tracker, I'm sure. 24 when they are.
Yeah, Lemmy's
pretty hard to get.
Lemmy's bonus is more than that.
Yeah.
You actually recognize the tracks. There are heavily booted undead zombie tracks that lead into the cave but don't come out. You think that a couple of orc zombies just wandered into the cave, like maybe a day ago.
All right.
And you know who made the orc zombies, right?
Yes, I do.
Who made the zombies?
I don't know.
Aside from that,
No.
there's not a lot of signs of like traffic into the cave aside from that path. You don't think the Linnorm comes out very often, if at all. You see no signs of it. And the surrounding forest looks like the trees have died and petrified. Like something really bad happened to the trees that sort of leached it of their life and left behind these kind of brittle husks. Actually pretty solid near the base of trees. A lot of the branches have snapped off, which make for kind of like a little bit of noise underneath the snow in places.
Marty, Lemmy is invisible, diminutive, little bat.
Okay.
And has Death Ward.
Got it.
Um,
Leaving Donovan standing there alone.
Bark skin and a whole ton of other stuff.
Cast a spell.
The head comes out and eats
Let me will throw some spells on like whoever wants them, and there's as much of those spells as he can, basically.
Okay.
He's gonna be ready for that list of.
What did you do with Dragon Seagull? Where do you have it?
Oh, Dragon Seagull is at Bergholm. I'm still teaching it to...
The Cairn Linnorm
Okay,
Seagull?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
the Draco Gull? Yeah,
Okay,
the Draco
yeah.
Gull is back in Bergholm. Once we have a proper downtime, I'm going to teach him to be my familiar.
You're going to teach it tricks because it is acting like an animal at this point.
Right. I'm going to handle animal it to do stuff. Who's a little bit? You're smarter this way, aren't you? Oh yes, you are. Who wants to dance?
Just this 300 hit point seagull.
Seagull. Yes, that's right. Draco Gull. Okay.
Here's a question: if you awaken that seagull, what will it be awakened as? A seagull?
It's not a seagull right now, so you can't awaken it.
Got it.
Okay, Donovan. This spell that you cast, it takes 10 minutes. Wow, what a crappy spying spell.
And the range is pretty limited, but so Donovan's like, why is everybody separating? If it comes out, don't we just teleport away? And
Yeah,
like, okay, I guess
Lemmy's
all of us
just-
know how to
Lemmy's
teleport
sitting
individually,
on
so I
your
guess we don't
shoulder.
have to...
Yep. So you conjure a single arcane eye that moves at 30 feet per round.
Yep.
Okay.
Lemmy's sitting on your shoulder, Donovan.
And I see through it.
It is invisible, and you can see through it. And you're sending this thing where? Probably
Into the cave.
Okay. I'm going to expose to Donovan, or I guess to everyone, another map that is Cave of Dead Things inside.
Labeled Death of Party.
What?
Donovan will hit the prying eye with a light spell. Make certain that he can see effectively going through. And he will start basically walking away from the cave entrance while concentrating on the light sensor, or on the sensor to... Let's just see what's inside there.
Okay, I'm going to make this player visible, and I'm going to unfog the cave. The cave goes in at least 120 feet, and then it opens up into a grand chamber. The chamber is filled with
Unfog?
with broken bits of bone.
There we go.
And let me force you guys there.
Oh, this is a quick thing. Mark is showing in my screen, so he's got Lemmy and Midwick, which is really weird. Just saying.
I've got what?
On Twitch.
There. He must have got dragged. Okay. Fixed. You do see that there is a black as midnight dragon with a bunch of spines on its head. It is awake, and you can see that it's crunching on a like a heavy helmet. There is a cleft in the back wall that looks like there are layers of bark and a strange skull that seems to be peeking out of the bark. There is a slight feminine look to the design, and you don't. It feels much more organic than it does constructed. Yggdrasil looks sick here compared to. Did Donovan ever go to Yggdrasil yet? I don't think so.
No, Donovan.
But if this is Lemmy's god, the tree looks sick and covered with moss. You do see that there are like druid henges or big megaliths of stone that are jutting out here and there at odd angles. There are not a lot of bones here, but there are flitting in the edges of the shadows of your light many incorporeal shades.
Oh god!
By incorporeal shades, you mean like
No,
shades?
they're receding from the light spell. They just seem to go back from it. The dragon is now done chomping on whatever was in the heavy metal helmet. Its teeth just turned it into Swiss cheese, and kind of spits it out and raises its head and looks at the eye that just kind of wandered into the cave.
Wandering in.
Can you hear through it?
I think I might just steam soon. We'll see how derpy the spell is. It's an old spell. Arcane Eye. Visual information. Just see. Can I read lips?
No. The thing kind of huffed.
Okay.
Well, looks like it's time to go.
Actually, no, I can't.
You can see something slightly moving inside of the strange cleft in the tree. Like there's something moving in the darkness back there.
Okay. I'm going to walk away from the entrance to the cave, and I'll push that sensor in.
Okay. The sensor gets a little bit closer as you're pushing it in. You realize that you're catching a glimpse of what's on the other side of perhaps a knowledge planes.
I have much knowledge planes. I'm on the wrong character sheet. That's right. 25. 45.
There's definitely a planar barrier. What's weird about this planar barrier is you can see into the other side, and what you see is an endless field of white bonish hands of people that seem to be alive, kind of grasping and groping upwards, and I'll give you a token of what this might look like. Let's see. Hell.
Show me the money.
I don't want to go in that hole.
So kind of reaching up along the ground, like this is the ground on the other side for like as far as you can see, people trying to reach up out of pits towards there's no color on the other side. It's muted grays and blacks, and you can see that there are moving people all kind of crammed together on the other side of this bleak place. And then you had moved, you didn't quite have perfect control of your sensor. You kind of moved it forward and it blinked out when you tried to push it through the through the planar barrier. So this is actually like a bunch of hands reaching out of the ground. They were moving. What's that?
I'm speaking. This is Lemmy speaking to Donovan. Did you find the dragon?
The dragon.
Oh, yes.
The dragon is 60 feet long, rakish, black, kind of horribly gaunt in places. Just had pallid eyes.
Very large, also very thin. It is not Uka. Very large and very thick.
Colossal, if you're looking for a size.
And they were shades. The shades were shades.
You never got a good enough look at them. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. He's gargantuan, not colossal. My bad. Not that it makes a big difference.
Donovan fucks it up. He's not. 39 on the perception.
Okay, and then you caught the look of some of them.
Knowledge religion.
Knowledge religion.
38.
You saw at least 6 greater shadows.
There are shadows in there, great ones.
Alright.
Yes. You wouldn't happen to have any of those spells that share memories, do you?
Unfortunately not.
How big is the entrance for that portal?
So the dragon's gargantuan.
Okay, cool. That works.
Yeah.
So it is 20 feet across and 75 feet up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can kill. One wall of force will block that portal.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. We should probably go. Where did Azulden go?
Right here.
We should put a bell on you.
So, all right.
So there are the
Research
greater
something
shadows.
for me, please. Having limited access to D20.
Yep.
A summoned creature, can it teleport on its own?
What?
If I summon a creature, summon Nature's Ally or something like that, and it has the ability to teleport, can it teleport?
Typically, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think we have
So
what
these,
we need.
These were flitting around in the shadows and kind of.
Yeah. We should probably go, lest it be offended.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, you teleport back to Dvergholm.
Yep. So, everybody remember, there are shadows that drain strength. We will definitely need wards that protect us. Azulden, can
No, I
your
can
strength be drained?
Yeah, I'm gonna need one of them death wards.
I can provide. Actually, you're gonna have to look at my spell list. I think I can provide everybody with death wards now.
Okay.
Are you guys going in guns blazing? Is that what I'm?
Well, yeah, we're
Yeah.
well, Donovan has seen the location that we want to be.
Yep.
Because we wanted to actually teleport into the cave, not outside the cave.
Got it.
Donovan, can you scry upon the inside of the cave to show it to me? So that I can scry upon it? Should have been easier if I just went in there.
Well, except for the chance of dying. Sure. Donovan is going to start scrying on shadows.
Fuck you. That's awesome. I'm sorry. As a DM, as a DM, I shouldn't do that. But I'm like, I realize what I just did. Yeah. So backing up a little bit while I was preparing something, teleporting summon creatures, is there so you should read Summon Monster 1 to see if there is a range that they need to stay within from you, and then there should be a list in that first spell that says what they can and cannot do if they have spell-like abilities.
It's actually it's in the Conjuration Summoning section, and it's under Summoning, where they talk about the spells.
Yep.
I can't access that page. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, and then if you give me a DC for it, you're going to spy on one of the greater shadows that you saw. Okay.
If one looked a little derpier than the others, that's the one.
It rolls a 9 on its saving throw.
Oh, look at that! Hey, buddy, how you doing?
There's a 1d3 chance, so we'll say 1 is it's near the ground, 2 it's floating around up on the high in the cavern, 3 it's really high on a ledge.